Hey guys, Russell here with what is turning into like a monthly update thing, it seems. I guess Hey Killer Update is now a show on Hey Killer. Neat. First things first, yes, I am finally doing a Q&A video that I've wanted to do for a while now. That's this video right now. And I'm going through all of the ones that I marked off from when I first asked for questions up until the present. But before I get into that, an update on Chad and Russ play video games on the internet. If you watched my update a month ago, you'll know that thanks to the gameplay videos and all of your support, this channel stayed within the required amount of watch time to stay partnered and to keep our network affiliate. And as of right now, the gameplay stuff has been able to do about 100 to 200 views in the first 24 hours, which we're very happy with. But it brings me to the first comment that I'm going to be answering. This one's from Valley Films, who says, "Hey, I love your stuff, guys, but find the combination of film and gaming tricky. Would you consider making two channels? I just find it sort of spammy as I'm into film, but not the gaming." Well, Valley Films, you're right. It's a tricky combination, especially now that I want to make Hey Killer more into my own personal channel for my solo film work, vlogs, these updates, and other stuff. So Chad and I had an idea, because the two of us collaborating on comedy, well, we've done that before. And we did it on a channel that's long been forgotten, so we've swept off the dust and gave it a nice new header image. And as a quick aside, big thanks to HTez for the artwork of myself and Chad, which we also used on the gaming videos, and his link is down in the description, and you should all check him out. But yes, we've decided to return to our roots. In 2002, we started working together under Immortal Dog Productions.
Sandwich.
We made it our first YouTube channel in 2007 and did videos for a few years following, and now Immortal Dog is once again the home for comedy videos from Chad and Russ, which will, of course, now include Chad and Russ play video games on the internet. But it's a comedy channel, and as such, we won't just be limiting ourselves to just gameplay. Sure, those will still be daily uploads and the bulk of the content for the near future, but we'll also start doing short comedy videos again. And for those who aren't aware, we've begun filming a lot during the gameplay too, like when a puzzle in Phantasmagoria 2 stumped us and we added this in.
Russ, I don't know.
Alright, I'm gonna see what a walkthrough for this looks like.
Hold on. Let's take a 5-second break and then we'll come back.
Okay.
We're back, and
And since recording that, we've started adding a lot more, so if you've held off on the gameplay stuff but you enjoy Chad and I, there's going to be a lot more in there for you in the future over on Immortal Dog. So, our new channel, which is also our old channel, is going to be the new home of Chad and Russ play video games on the internet. Sometimes featuring my wife Christine, and that will be starting on April 1st, 2018, just over a week away. Christine and I will also start recording gameplay together and putting those up as a separate show, and eventually we could even have more than one upload a day on Immortal Dog. Exciting, right? Now, before I start the Q&A, just a quick note that for the remainder of this month, we'll be airing the third game Chad and I recorded, Police Quest SWAT, with a bumper at the beginning announcing the channel move, so stay tuned for that. And also, Christine and I will do our first playthrough together on this channel as well, playing the brand new, just released game, A Way Out, until it's completed, at which point we'll move that show over to Immortal Dog as well. Okay, that's all for the announcements. It was a long intro, but let's get into the questions and comments. First, some YouTube comments about the channel returning. We got from Pretzel Mister, "It's alive again! Glad I never unsubscribed. Surprised YouTube even notified me as it's been so long. I started watching this channel at 15, I'm now 20. Dude, I know, it's crazy how fast time moves. When I started Indie Mogul, I was 27, now I'm 34. Holy cow, I bought my Rokinon 14mm f2.8 5 years ago now because I watched your Indie Mogul cheap DSLR lens video. I have since used that lens to help build my channel, which is now my job." First, congrats on that being your job. That's awesome. It's the dream. And second, I loved that lens. I switched from Canon cameras to Panasonic a few years back. But even today, if I had a Canon DSLR, that 14mm lens is the first one I would get. And anyone out there who has a Canon, check that lens out. And also check out Make Test Battle while you're at it. Links down in the description. I saw Hey Killer Films in my subscription feed. I thought my eyes were deceiving me. Russell is getting old. I am. Do you remember me? I used to be S&S Pictures. I do. Glad to see you still here. on this channel. Also, thanks for the tip that it was 4,000 hours within the last year, not the 30 days, since that's the whole reason this channel was able to stay partnered. If I didn't see that comment, I'd probably just have thought they made a mistake, because I'm pretty dumb. Good to have you back. I must ask, how are Tuck and Jason? Well, Nick, Jason is now a father of 2, and he's doing well. He lives pretty far away from me at the moment, so I don't get to see him as much as I'd like anymore. But at some point, I need to do a video catching up with him.
All right, you can stop now.
And if I ever end up moving back down to where I used to live while doing the live show, I'd love to get that going again with him. Hopefully by the end of the year, worst case next year, we'll be back down there. And as for Tuck, he's exactly the same. Great to see you back on this channel, Russ. Looking forward to your endeavors. Thanks, Sam. And for those who didn't realize, that's Sam Cugel, the guy who did the amazing music for Angel of the City, and who I really need to get in touch with ASAP. We need to work together again, soon. And actually, that Angel of the City connection brings me to the next thing. A lot of people asking about what is going on with that, since I had always envisioned it as a series. I talked about this on some of the live shows, but if you never heard those, here's the deal with that. First, once things ended at Indie Mogul, priorities shifted and things got delayed with even finishing the original, which is why it took forever to release. After that, I did actually write out episode summaries for the full series, a few times actually, and the biggest problem? Too big. So incredibly too big for me to do. The scope grew so large for me to be able to pull off without a pretty big budget. So now Angel of the City is something I keep in my back pocket for if the day ever comes, where I'm in a position to pull it off. These days, I'm back to focusing on low-budget ideas, and hopefully I'll be making my first feature in the near future. That actually also answers Curtis's question about short film projects. Other than doing short comedy videos on Immortal Dog with Chad, I'm not really thinking too much about short film work. It's not to say it won't happen, it's just that's not where my priorities are. If I think of something, I may do it, but I want to make that feature so badly. Whenever that happens, don't worry, I'll do plenty to follow the making of it on this channel. Oh, and Travis, still shooting on the GH4. It's my favorite camera I've ever professionally shot on. And until there's an affordable DSLR shooting with a global shutter as opposed to a rolling shutter, I'll be sticking with it. Next up, an easy one from Luke McAnelli and Astro, asking what do I use to edit my videos? Adobe Premiere. I use the Creative Cloud in general for everything. I'm also a fan of HitFilm, actually, and I would use it for everything, but I haven't really taken the time to use it as efficiently as I like. Maybe in the future, if I've got a long-term project like a feature film, I'd give it a shot, but for now, Adobe Creative Cloud. From Greg Norton, I'm so late to the party, maybe someone can help me out on this. I've been shooting and editing for over a year now. Overall, my work is okay, but I've seen people who put in less time in the craft and create incredible pieces of work. I put in a lot of time studying films, TV, watching videos, practicing lighting, editing a video weekly, working on tons of projects, and yet my skill level is slowly developing compared to others. I know I shouldn't be comparing myself to others, but am I doing anything that's slowing the process? No, you're not. Keep doing what you're doing, because that sounds very similar to what I was always doing when I was learning. Just constantly working, constantly watching and trying to learn. You know, it took me a long time to get to the point where I thought I actually got pretty good at the video thing. I mean, I started in '99 on an old high 8mm camera. And, you know, by the time I got to Indie Mogul and I felt like, oh, wow, okay, I feel like I know what I'm doing at this point and doing it pretty well. I did the show Mogul or Made and had people from all over sending me their movies. And it was pretty humbling at certain points. I would get videos from people who were like 15 years old, which is how old I was in '99, who were already making things that, even in my mind, were on par or better than what I was currently making. So some people just learn fast. There is such a thing as just a natural talent to stuff like this, and then there's learned talent, and there's nothing wrong with learned talent compared to natural talent. I mean, that's what it was for me. It just takes longer, and it's something you got to stick with. If anything, I'm happier to have been learned at it, because after doing it for over 10 years and then finally feeling like, yes, I know what I'm doing at this point, the fact that I was still doing it to me after that long says, okay, yes, this is actually what I want to do with my life. Whereas there are things that I was interested in that I was better at quicker at a younger age that now I'm like, oh, that's not something I would want to do. So I'd hate to get really into filmmaking. Not that this necessarily happens a lot, but I would hate to have been like, I'm a master filmmaker at 15 years old, and then now I'm in my 30s and being like, this is not something I actually wanted to do with my life. So the fact that it took me over 10 years to get to a point where I thought I was actually good at it, I knew at that point that this career path was for me. If that makes any sense. Luke Cameron Hunter asks, will there be more Porkins?
Standing by.
Red 7 standing by.
Red 3 standing by.
Red 6 standing by. I guess.
Could be more Porkins, but if there is, you'll probably see it over on Immortal Dog, so stay tuned over there. Maybe we could put Porkins into the newer movies. From Crawfish and TV, what's the sound clip that you use for the deaths in Murder Mystery on SSundee's videos? That'd be this. It's a Bram sound effect from Epic Trailer Sounds by Generdyne, which is a free pack that you can download from the link I've handily put in the description below. It's a great pack, and I use something from it in almost everything I do. The Broadway Reject asks, do you need any voice acting for Good Grief? There's a few of us in the community that'd like to throw in our talents to help it out. Yes, I do, but not yet. The first episode, everyone has pretty much been cast, but that's only a pilot. Once it's done, and I'm actually starting to work on these on a regular basis, that'll be a whole different story. Rest assured that when the day comes that we need more voice actors, I'll announce something about that right here in these update videos. We'll do like a casting call. Also, that show, for people wondering, is still in editing, but nearing completion. Hopefully by the next monthly update video, I'll at least have a release date for you. The final question I've got is from Neil T. Any chance of having your own Patreon? No. I mean, I don't know if that'll be my opinion forever on the subject, but as of right now, no. And that goes for most crowdfunding things. If I have a project totally planned out and ready to go, and I'm confident in it, maybe I'd do an Indiegogo? I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of crowdfunding and being for myself and being beholden to anyone when it comes to film work. I support a lot of other crowdfunded projects over the years, but for myself, I get stressed out easily. If anyone who donated to me ever didn't like the finished product or thought I took too long working on it and wants their money back, the usual complaints you see on crowdfunding sites, I'd lose my mind with anxiety. I'd rather work closely with an actual film producer than have to please a lot of eventual viewers and fans. Even if I knew I could, the stress would just be too much, is what I'm saying. That being said, I'm not above taking donations, something I've done with Streamlabs when streaming on mixer.com/heykiller, but everything that I get from those goes towards things like more games for streaming on there, or equipment like mics or camera stuff. I do have a link to that in the description, and I bring it up because myself, Christine, Chad, and Danger of SnakeFistExplosion are all going to Boston together for 4 days, from April 5th through the 8th for PAX East, the gaming convention that should be a really fun time. If you're going, let me know in the comments, as we're all thinking of letting people know where we'll be and when, so that we can get to meet some of the fans while we're there. But we set a goal to help recoup the costs of the trip, and we're already a third of the way there, and that trip will definitely be turned into a vlog. Either a series or one long vlog of the entire trip in one video. I don't know. Let me know what you like better out of those two ideas. But keep an eye out for that on this channel at some point in April. So far, I'd like to send out all of my thanks to Ninja Hobo, Narwhal666, Stay Puffed, Ab95, Kelvin Campbell, Nightmare Crater, Mista Jam, Toe Mater, Magoo498, and James Junbao for their contributions to that fund. Every little bit helps, and I'll give more shoutouts to those making this trip happen, and even these videos happen in the next update. And on the topic of those vlogs, by the way, more things are going to happen on that front soon. In an extremely random turn of events, Chad and I will be announcing for roller derby games in the near future. It's looking like maybe in May. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll be going to our next derby on April 14th to confirm really if it's definitely something we think we can do, and we'll be sure to document the whole process. It should be interesting. But anyway, that's it for me this month. Make sure to comment below with any questions you might have for the next update Q&A video. I'll do these around the end of every month, so look for the next one in about a month's time. Until then, again, subscribe to Immortal Dog for Chad and Russ play video games on the internet starting on April 1st, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!